Hey, how's it going? Should have done that before I started, but I have to do like 30 more times, so anyway. Hi, look at some signs. Those are my YouTube disclaimers. And you can look at the other sign too. That's why it's there. Okay. So, sorry about that for anybody with tippy stomachs. How did I just have this before? There we go. God, you know, are you plugged in? Yes, that's why it's being so dumb. I have a cord that's trying to horn in, and I don't want it in. I don't want it where it wants to go, which is like right here. It's like, now's not a good time. Okay, so I pulled. Well, I have two cards here from the Shaman's Oracle deck. And the first one that I pulled out let you know why I'm making faces and what's going on in my head. The first card I pulled was number 7, Covenant card. But when I pulled it, I was like, I can't use this because this is like hitting way too close to home with some personal stuff that is not what I want to be talking about here. But note, it is number 7. And I didn't get rid of it because I realized I can still talk about stuff with the cards. So before I came to that realization, I was like, fine, I'll just pull another one. And I did. It's number 43, which what is 4 and 3? It's 7. It's like, you're taking a 7 no matter what. So the second card I pulled was Overflow. And the subtitle is Overwhelm and Plenty. And I also pulled a card from my Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. And I pulled the Fox. So, after I like let these sort of marinate in my brain a little bit, and what I typically do is I pull them, and I don't start reading them immediately. I like to let the whole day go by to sort of inform what the heck I'm gonna say, and that works for me. So I'm gonna keep doing that. And I'm just gonna, I guess my shirt is too short, if you're wondering why. I can't stop messing with it, but I like the color, so I wanted to wear it. So there. Anyway, I was just gonna mush everything together, having had a chance to think about it, and that is why I am going to go ahead and use the first card that I pulled, which is the Covenant card. So, here's why I decided, here's why I decided to go ahead and use this card. I mean, just because it has a particular, do you mind? Thank you. Just because it has a particular personal reason, I don't have to talk about that. It's got plenty of other meaning. Kitty, really? Hold on a second, please. I'll be right back. I'm back. So, his kibble had gotten down to an unacceptable level. You could see the bowl through it. I had to refill it. It was like a major emergency. But that was taken care of. Whew. Okay, so back to what I started to say. As I was saying earlier, I like to let the day pass and inform me. So one of the things I was doing while the day was passing was listening to, well, I listened to something from Cryon, which was the Lightworker's Handbook, and I listened to like the first chapter, and boy, they don't really delineate between chapters. He just kind of said that the chapter was ending, and then all of a sudden he was just talking again. So I listened to or not a chapter, but a book, because it says it comes in 5 books. So I listened to a book in a sentence, I guess. But it's really refresher for me, because a lot of the stuff in it was covered, started being, like, the story starts in like 1982, that he's going to talk about Cryon in this Lightworker series, Lightworker's Handbook series. And I have caught up. Like, I didn't listen to his teachings or read any of his books. I still haven't read any of the books, but I've been listening to the teachings since 2015, so I think I caught up. Anyway, I was thinking about, like, light workers, like who they are and why they're here, and it is sort of a contractual agreement. Well, not sort of, it totally is. Like, you do this whole soul contract before you're even born and map out your whole life, and I talk about that a lot, and I try to, when I talk about it, make sure and include the part about how, and I don't think I've ever really phrased it that way, but like, each of us here living our lives, doing whatever we're doing, are part of the fabric of reality, which would make each of us a thread. And the thing about being part of fabric is, if you're a thread, you're just a thread. You're not going to be able to, like, see above or below or around the thread next to you very much or very far. You're not going to have a complete picture at all of what the whole fabric is, like, what is it depicting. That's not really going to be accessible to you unless you, like, somehow detach from the fabric, because you're not, it's like forest in the trees. You're not going to see forest because you're, like, covered with trees or threads. You understand what I'm saying? Am I getting my metaphor across? I hope. So, as light workers, and one thing I've learned over the years, apparently, is that, or that I've learned, is that apparently everybody that comes here is a light worker in a way, because a lot of being the light worker, it involves, like, self-examination and, sort of thinking outside the box philosophically, and lots of out of the box sort of asymmetrical thinking about life and yourself and your place in society, in the world, in life, and in your personal dealings, or even just in your personal dealings with yourself, because we are another person that we're constantly dealing with, And so it's understood, as was dispensed by Cryon. That's how I understand it. That's how I know about it. But, we come here, and the light worker has a particular mission, and that is to help with the ascension of all of the people, because, wow, I'm not going to try to describe what all of the ascension is and what it's about, and that's like such a big subject, but I've already said so many words that you can just look it up yourself. And it's so, like, part of the lexicon now, like all of the spirituality stuff and all of the woo-woo. It's like people that don't even care about it are running around using the terminology. So it's making its way, into awareness that there is something to ascend to and ascend about, I guess. But as a light worker, you come here knowing that you there's something that you have the intent to come here and do and be a part of. And so, to go back really briefly to the soul contract thing, that you map out your life before you're born. The reason why I started talking about the fabric is because when you're doing this dickering, well, it's not dickering because it's a cooperative. Like, no one's like, everyone like wants to help you, wants to, you know, play a role in the fabric of your life or play a thread or whatever. And there's the complexity of the complexity. I forgot to use the glue again. The complexity of our lives. It's like when this stuff is happening, when it's getting planned out and negotiated or whatever, however you want to call the process, like there is so many moving parts. It's not just like, I so and so am going to be born and I'm going to do this and that. Like, that's not even how anything works. We don't, any of us, go and do anything without some other cooperative action having either already taken place or is in the process of taking place or is going to be there waiting in the wings like an emergency first responder or something to dash in and become a part of that part of your life. So I'm just saying, it's not just about you. And that's why it's so complicated. And also, this is like a whole life. Even if you have a relatively short life, like say you die as a middle school child, that's still a lot of stuff that had to go on and happen. Like, this is mind-blowing, but all of your life, like, it's already been all mapped out. And, like, everything you do... like it's already been thought of, like all the eventualities if you do or not do something, you know, like go right or go left or go straight. Like if you deviate from the plan, there's even eventualities for that. So am I making sense with that? Like, I hope so, because I don't know how to be clearer, really. Like no matter what you do, like even if you think there's no safety net, there's a plan for that. That's how it is. And that's part of the contractual agreement that a light worker gets to enjoy. Like, that's not their part, like, or my part. My part is the agreement to come here, and I'm just I don't even know if this is true. I'm just like what is it when you stream of consciousness talking? That's what I'm doing. And did I forget what I was saying? Maybe. Hold on a second. Oh, right. So, like, the other people that, like, help play a part in like, making the stuff of your life happen, that's all happening to them too. Like, you're a cog in their machine as well. So, I mean, it just gets all convoluted, but it's like as dense a weave as a fabric, you know, like... Are you getting my metaphor? Okay, I'll leave it alone before I beat it to death. But yeah, there's those contracts, like, with your life. And then also, like, the light worker contractual agreement. That's just one group of many, many, many that there can be out there that are here for a very specific purpose. And they got their own stuff too. So I'm not actually going to read about that from the guidebook, but next I'm going to deal with this here overflow card. And I looked at it and saw what it had to say, overflow, and then overwhelm and plenty. And it just made me think of the Seven of Cups tarot card, where you're faced with, I'm going to call it a blinding array of choices, because that's kind of what it's like right now. I mean, for all of us, there is so many opportunities to take some type of action, and what that is going to be dependent on the person choosing to do something. But I think there's a lot of people that feel a sense of like they gotta get moving or something. Like they're like impelled. They feel like they gotta go do something, and I don't know where that's coming from, but enjoy. But the Seven of Cups card, should I get it out? I'm not gonna get it out. Yes, I am. Hold on. Okay, so I wanted this card to show that there's like an overabundance of choices, and you want to make your best possible one, and you have to really... Where is my indicator? Where's that freaking thing? There it is. Just calm down. You have to choose. You have to use your discernment to make the best choice. Like, a bunch of them look good, but that can be deceptive. You know, like buying a car. You know, it can look great on the outside, and I'm thinking you may be getting it from a not so honest car dealer, where they kind of make it run for like a couple of days and it looks all good on the outside, but in reality, whatever fix they did was quick and temporary, and then the efficacy like is gone after a very short time. Just long enough for the warranty on the car to run out, probably, or like the return policy to run out. And you know, you have to be able to look at something and tell if it's what you're being told it actually is, or if there's a lemon, if you're getting a lemon car. So I just wanted to bring this out and show that like it's all like, okay, well, there's clouds, and to me that just says, like, it's just unclear, you know, like, not, if it were bright, sunny light that, you know, dispelled all shadow and all doubt, that would be one thing, but it's not it. And it's, you know, it's not like covering up the choices, but the fact that it's there is telling me that everything on here is going to have, like, something good come out of it, which is what you want, but it's also likely to have something that you don't want that much. And like, even if like winning the lottery, like, you think it sounds all great and you're gonna have everything you want, but maybe you don't want everybody that you know and their dog showing up with their hand out, you know. Or if you avoid that, then maybe you have to worry about like people snatching you or snatching one of your loved ones. Like, everything has two sides. So you really have to think about your choices. I believe that is the message. And then I also, while I was getting that card there, I'm hearing, get the Ace of Cups too. Get the Ace of Cups. Get it, because you got to do your cup running over. Okay, I don't know who that is, but here's the card. Are you happy? It makes sense, though, because I just want to show it, because that's what I was supposed to do, but I guess. But this here is like, this is like the lottery gone bad card now. It just became that. Because, you know, say you did win the lottery and you bought this house that I can't even tell you what school of architecture that's from. Sort of a, I kind of want to say like a Middle Eastern lighthouse. What is that? And then there's these sort of like, they almost want to act like those onion bulbs you see in Russian architecture. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, if that's a real school of architecture, it's new to me. Like, pretty much everything on there is kind of weird and unfamiliar looking, except, well, I mean, like this combination, like the top looks like a lighthouse and this just looks like I don't know, a regular gingerbread house, or a regular house, like a person house. And this looks like some kind of industrial thing over here. I guess it's all this darkness and water. I don't know. Giant deflated balloon landed on top of this building. No, that's the roof. Like I said, ain't never seen no shit like that before. But the reason why it's like the lottery card, because you get this fantastic place that if the water wasn't drooling all over it and it wasn't all flooded, it's probably like really cool. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I wonder what's under here. You can't really see anything but the reflection of what's here. But here's this, and where's this on here? Nowhere. So what's this? Now I have to examine it. See, it's like, oh, I guess it is the reflection of it, but there's like leaves or something on the water obscuring the clarity of my view. But you win the lottery, you get this fantastic, beautiful house, and then you get all of the stuff that came along with it that is not like, so doesn't make you feel like such a winner. It just makes you tired and is making you aware of people's true colors and intentions. I learned something. Well, I kind of knew it anyway, instinctively, but it was like an interesting lesson. Just before my mom died, we were kind of, I knew she was gonna die soon. I just kind of felt it, and because she just wasn't looking great. She just kept looking worse, like she just wasn't getting better. So I knew, and she'd been sick for a while, so kind of put two and two together. And then one day she decided to talk to me about like her after death arrangements, which I don't talk about her much because there's not much to say. She was the most reticent person I ever knew. Like, I have no idea. I have an idea. Well, she never told me the name of her father, so I don't know my grandfather, her mom, my grandmother. Never mentioned his at all. Like, if she lived in town where I lived, I might have gotten a chance to ask her. But both my mom and my grandmother died kind of before I could get much information out of them, before I could think to ask almost. So my grandmother died when I was really young, so it wouldn't have occurred to me, or I might have. I think I asked, like, where's grandpa, because I had another grandma and grandpa. Like, I understood that was my dad's parents, and I was like, where's the corresponding set on this side? I think one of the times that she was visiting, and she was real good at putting me off of stuff. Both of them were. I guess that's where my mom learned it. But she could distract and deflect and tell you absolutely nothing. So I don't know. Like, this guy must have been terrible. The whole family never mentioned. He was like the name that cannot be mentioned. You can't say it. And I'm like, wait a minute. I want to know who my grandfather is. So, why did I start talking about that? I don't know. Oh, the people coming out of the woodwork when you win the lottery. That's why I started talking about that. There could be more going on here than my impression. I guess it just depends on who's looking at it and getting the impression. I'm just going to leave it there. I might have something more to say about it, but I'll read from the booklet. Overflow. Too much, overwhelm, and plenty. So many good things are headed your way or are already occurring in your life right now. Yet you may be thinking that they're not possible or you're not worthy of them. Abundance is everyone's natural state before we project our restrictions on it, defining what it means, who has it, who gets it, and so forth. Right now, take yourself out of your conditioning and look at your life through the eyes of plenty. There is so much beauty and love. Opportunities and divine synchronicities destined to support your dreams abound and are lined up for you. Okay, so that whole bit there that I just read is pretty meaningful to me because it's once again that bleed through. Things I was talking about in yesterday's reading are kind of migrating into this one. But one thing that I noticed was they were talking about abundance. So that was something I talked about yesterday. And I like the part here where it says, right now, take yourself out of your conditioning. Something I was just talking about too yesterday in my personal life, and in something in my WordPress, I believe I talked about conditioning, not in my reading yesterday. So the WordPress was 2 days ago. But looking through eyes of plenty to me means not looking at things that you don't have, that you lack, that you want, that you maybe envy someone else having. That is lack. You do not want that. I don't want that. And so I have been retraining my brain not to do that. And when it wants to go that way, I'll just say, no, 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 no. Here's what you have. Not even what you have to be grateful for, although that's definitely part of it, but that kind of gets into like a little heavier shade of it for me. So I just kind of stick with, like, I got everything I need. I really don't need anything else. And like, that's all the abundance I need. I don't have where to put more stuff, more abundance. So whatever more abundance I get, it's going to be intangible. That's for sure. And that's, in a way, more valuable than something that you're going to bring in your house that might, like, it might exude toxic fumes and you don't know right away, if you ever know. It might just be cheaply and inexpensively made and just get damaged very easily and go from looking like something new to an instant piece of junk because the particle board is exposed or something. I don't know, like, if that happened to something of mine, then, like, if it was still functional, I would keep it. I would just, like, fix its appearance, do my best to repair whatever the heck was wrong with it, because, I mean, it's something I already got, and I don't really need to get another unless it's absolutely necessary, you know? I was just talking to someone today about, like, I live within my means, and that's because I don't have this going on. I mean, I could if I were to allow that to happen, but sometimes you can't help getting overwhelmed because you're not in control of, like, what all the other threads are doing. Everybody might be throwing their water buckets at you, or not the buckets, but just the water. Like, what I'm saying is there's forces that you can't control. So, let me not get too far off track. Anyway, yeah, that's what I think, seeing through the eyes of plenty, like, seeing that plenty is what you already have. Because, you know, just because you have choices, just because you have choices in front of you, you don't have to choose on any of them. You could decide to not choose and move along and just go with what you got because you're already abundant. Like, you don't need any other stuff, you know, taking up more space. Like, you need that space for yourself. You need some space. Let me finish reading. So, opportunities and divine synchronicities destined to support your dreams abound and are lined up for you. Talking about that yesterday too. So check out yesterday's reading. It was the one right before this one. Yet it's sometimes difficult to discern it all because you're bombarded with too much information and stimulation, distracting you from the truth that all is well. What have I been talking about for like last week? Up to like 2 days ago when it finally broke and changed into a different energy, was just like having the willies or something. Like I just wanted to jump out of my skin, and I could not put my finger on a precise thing that was making me feel agitated. It was just a general sense, and it was so hard to meditate. Oh my God, it was starting to really chap my hide. I was like, come on. I just couldn't maintain it for more than a couple of minutes. It's really been challenging. But like I said, it broke, so feeling a lot better. Probably everybody is feeling better. Enjoy it, because it's going to end pretty quick. More challenges on the way. Hooray! Sometimes all this overflow can be overwhelming. And yet, and you may find yourself responding with empathy overload. Empathy overload occurs when you tune into the collective angst and fear about impending changes and uncertainties. What was I just saying? That must have been what was driving me so buggy. It's unimaginable. You feel like you're drowning in these emotions. It's time to allow yourself to detach. Bring yourself back to your life. Restore your faith in power greater than you, and remind yourself to focus on your smaller personal universe, which is much easier to manage. Ain't that the truth? And you know what? When I first approached this type of thought reconstruction or thought deflection, like anything else I haven't done before or hadn't done before, I wasn't so good at it. But with a little practice, I started getting better at being able to shut off all of the sort of brown noise that tries to get in and mess you up. So just if you're suffering what I was talking about, and you just are feeling crazy and you can't figure it out and you don't know how to calm it down, all I can say is what I do is just look for comedy to make me laugh. I watch cartoons. Not comedy, comedians, because I have the YouTube and I can find a million comedian shorts to watch, and it's good. And same for animal videos, music. Go just start doing something completely else. I don't color very often, color in a coloring book. So that is something I will do just if I can't break out of something. You just have to, or when I say you, I mean me, but it could work for you as well. You is just completely getting off the bike and getting on a different one and getting on a horse and going in another direction. Just change it up, whatever you have to do, and just to get your mind thinking about something else and undistracted, just a suggestion. Not trying to tell anybody what to do. That's just what I do. It kind of works, but it depends. Some days are more difficult than others. And finally, it says, where was I? That's a long sentence. In this way, you know that you're a conduit for life's blessings, and you can share them with others, making this perception of overflow profoundly positive. Okay, I don't disagree with that. He's sitting there staring at me. Do you enjoy that? I can feel his eyes on me. I'm almost done. Oh, sure, now he wants to clean his butt. So, the fox, maybe I will read the book because, well, I'll just read the book. Oh, I suppose I should talk while I'm doing that. Okay, what? So the fox, I actually just pulled the other day, like 2 days ago or something, and the thing that's standing out to me that I remember about it from that reading was that it's a reliable partner. It doesn't really specify business partner, platonic partner, romantic partner. But I guess that doesn't really matter, because these days I find that, here it is, I find that finding a reliable person to interact with even is difficult. I see a lot of people, I meet a lot of people, know a lot of, well, no, I can't say I know a lot of people that are this way, but these are newly known people, and I find that it's like talking to like a mosquito, or wait, no, not like a hummingbird, because they're all like ratcheted up energy, or else like super self-medicated to ratchet down that kind of energy. But I noticed that these people they'll ask you a question and you'll go to answer, and then in the middle of your answer they'll just like wrap it off into some other subject, or physically wrap it off, and you're just like, wow. Was that real? Was I really just talking to someone, or did I hallucinate that? You know, and that's just one version, but it's like it makes me wonder, like, is there an ADD epidemic or something, ADHD epidemic or something? Because I just meet so many people that are like so jacked up and going so fast, and they're not like on speed. Believe me, I was on it for years. I kind of look for it in people if I see them acting jacked up like I'm talking about. So I guess I should say, I don't mean jacked up like somebody effed them up. I mean jacked up like speeded up and hyped up, but not as far as I could tell. Like if it was drug speed, it was like medicinal good shit, although that would still dilate your pupils, and also it makes you have a smell because you are like sweating. Your body is like, you put this like gasoline in here and I have to filter it out. So I mean, there's a number of ways to detect whether someone's tweaking, you know, and these people were not. But I don't know, like, I guess I was kind of that way when I worked. I know that I had to step down several stages from the angst level that I was at, and it took literally years to get away from it, to get out of it, because it's like mine was basically the drone and the drain of the workday. And you just get it rutted and embedded in you, and it's just hard to dislodge. And also, even though like the way that I was able to sort of detach from it was because I got ill enough to not have to work for a living anymore, which is, I'm laughing, but it's really not the way to go. If you don't want to work, like, probably finding an alternative way to do your life is better than the one that I ended up with. But, you know, I'm happy, I'm grateful that it happened, because it gave me an opportunity to spend a lot of time sitting around thinking and contemplating and philosophizing and all kinds of stuff. So For every good thing, there's a bad thing. Well, for every bad thing, sometimes there's a good thing. And what was I just saying about bad? I don't know if that characterization is even going to work for me anymore. It was not bad, as it turned out. I didn't die like they thought I was going to. I did end up being able to walk again, which they didn't think I was going to, they being the doctors. And I gotta like throw them a bone, and I'm totally grateful to them for whatever they did do. If it only came down to diagnosing what is wrong with me, the whole symptomatic buildup was so I don't think I've ever tried to define it before, but all I can say is it's like going from being a totally physical and active, healthy person to someone that has headaches so bad that they can't even sleep for up to a week, like at all. There's just massive amounts of symptoms, and then so many things about my life, like just autonomous body stuff, like being able to walk and have my whole left side function as if it's still plugged in, because we ended up paralyzed on my left side for a year. And man, the doctors were doom and glooming me, and I was just like, no, screw that. I'm gonna walk in, I'm gonna ride a skateboard again. I'm not gonna die. I don't feel like I'm gonna die. And they weren't being malicious. I think they just didn't know, and they didn't know what to tell me. I think they were just trying to give me an honest outlook, because I was so young. I was 26 when that happened. Out of the blue, by the way. No one else in my family has anything like it. It's the most bizarre thing. And when they finally diagnosed it, they're like, you and about 5 other people have this, and you have it different from everybody else who got it. And I was like, yeah, because I don't do anything half-ass. But look how bummed I am about it. It just really changed my life, and that was a shock. I swear it took probably like a whole decade of shock for me to process it. I can't even tell you like what that was. I just remember like living, but things changed. Like my state of mind is completely different from then. So healing, I guess it was healing. Let me read some Fox. The fox is an enchanting creature. Oh, smart, strong partner or mate, wise teacher. The fox is an enchanting creature with plenty of mystique to go around. Fox personalities are skillful in business and also make great teachers. I know what this is. Well, wow, seriously? Okay, cards. Stop it. Try to make me get all personal. Foxes are quick to learn and adapt well to new situations. Foxes are ideal life partners as they commit to relationships for the long term, and their natural charisma keeps things exciting. Fox energy helps us stay true to those most dear to us. Fox energy stays... I just want to phrase it so it sounds normal, okay? One more time. Fox energy helps us stay true to those most dear to us. Whoa, I'm going to say it one more time, and I'm going to say it this time. Dang it. Fox energy helps us stay true to those most dear to us. Jeez, was that so hard? Good Lord. When this card appears, reconnect to those you love. Foxes don't do well when they slip away. Don't slip away. He keeps being right there, and then he walks off. I don't have any more treats. I'm sorry. I know that's why he's lurking. What are you playing with? He likes to play with these little things that are more or less invisible to me. Oh, sorry, getting sidetracked. So, to turn this away from my own stuff, this energy is, boy, I think it's like really sought after right now in so many areas, to have a smart, reliable partner that is just gonna, like, the plan is to just stay and, like, do the job, you know, stay in, like, whatever the relationship is, but not to just, like, flake and fizzle off. And, you know, I think it's what we all sort of are wanting from, wow, ourselves, each other, our leaders, our police, you know, like the thing I was talking about with the talking and like just like wandering off in mid conversation in that, or I want more people that are gonna stand there and actually talk to you and listen to you, like answer the question they asked you, because then you think they really gave a shit that they're talking to you. Because that's what's kind of disheartening about these people. It's like I can't connect to them, and that is weird, because like, if I can't connect to you, I feel like, why are you talking to me? Because I don't think I'm connecting with them either if they're just unplugging in the middle and disappearing. And so, sorry, I think that is a quality that a lot of us really want, and the reason why we can't find it, or it's rare to find, like my stupid disease, or don't say that, I shouldn't say my disease is stupid, it's actually very I can't think of the word, consequential. It's not unimportant, and it definitely had an impact on my life, and really at this point mostly positive. So we want something and someone in our life to be reliable. We want to know that that we can count on something. But the way to get those things is to learn how to count on ourselves, is to find it within ourselves. And that way we inspire each other. We definitely influence each other. And so that's kind of, there's not really anything mystical about it, you know. Public opinion, when it all starts to think the same thing or agree on something, that's not like mystical and magical. That's because circumstances on the ground dictated it, and that's okay. That's how it works. But works better if more people are like this than the opposite. So, to sum up, actually, we all are here, whether we identify as a light worker or not, as a service to each other. And we may not remember, or maybe in our disremembering, we are doing exactly what we're meant to, and not taking part in the ascension, and not taking part in becoming enlightened. That's also a choice that's completely available to us. And like I say this a lot because it's such a great truism, but in our lives, whenever something happens, like to us or to someone that we love and care about, or like a sports hero of ours, or a media personality, like whatever it is. God, every time I elaborate too much, the point kind of runs away. Let me get it back. We want the reliable people around us, and we have to show the way by being that first. And we're kind of getting ahead of myself, but that is where I wanted to end up, because I think the last thing I was talking about was us influencing each other, and that being the way that things change. Like, we didn't get the civil rights era because 4 people wanted it. We got it because a whole bunch of people voted for it and demonstrated and marched and, you know, made their feelings known, made their desires known. Like, that is not acceptable. This is what we want. So, yeah, bad. We can, like, make choices to... Oh, that was the other thing about this card. To repair the damages that climate change, sure, it's going to happen regardless of there being humans here on Earth, but humans are here on Earth, and we're getting up to some stupid stuff that's kind of hurting the Earth and our home, and also it gets in our food and water, and like, hello, people, come on. Like, it's overwhelming, but boy, can we just pick a thing and start somewhere instead of just looking for somebody to blame? Because why, time's a wasting. Are we gonna wait till we are in water up to our filtrums? Like, we're gonna be almost inhaling water through our only breathable orifices left? I know we'd like to go to extremes, but come on. I don't want to get that extreme. This is good. Let's start pulling ourselves by our big boy adult pants straps and start fixing our mess. And if it's not something we did, if it's natural climate damage, we could fix that too. We could help. Like, why do we have all these conditions? It's all for us. Like, we trip ourselves up and get in our own way so much. And boy, I'm not saying that I don't do it. I'm just aware of it more than, like, I think other people are. And also, I deliberately want to not do it if at all possible. So, like I said, there's some of us here that are turned on, tuned in, and plugged in and all that. And others of us that are just sort of like maybe in a lower vibration, doing things to themselves, and maybe others that are negative, like not good, not friendly, not nice, not healthy. But you still have to interact with these people in the world, and that means that regardless of the fact that they're not like, I know why I'm here on this planet, and this is what I'm going to do with my life to affect these other things in my life on my planet. Maybe they're just like, I'm just going to get up and go to work and come home and eat my dinner, and on the weekends I'm going to go shopping, and like, just, you know, regular, nothing super crazy outlandish, but also not looking to like learn anymore or be anymore. Just, you know, people, you got to meet them where they are, you know, and if they're not in the same state of mind as you, just that alone is gonna, I hate to say it, but create a bit of a separation between you, because probably one of you is not going to want to talk to the other person. So and that, like, everything I said about the 2 different types of people, there's a lesson in all of it. So this is not that person, but I'm just using this card as like just an object to point to. You can still be here and not be taking part in the whole ascension effort, and not having a Kundalini awakening, or even know what that is, or care. That's fine, because that is a thread that needs to be part of the fabric, and you don't have to like spend your life next to it, totally examining it or emulating it, but you can acknowledge that there is this person in your life that, for all you know, they are like your dentist trash man, which maybe doesn't affect you, but isn't it interesting that your dentist and your trash man are two people that you know that are completely unrelated. Threads in the carpet, don't necessarily know where the other one is. But they're both in the carpet, they're part of the fabric. Okay, now thank you and good night. No. Did I sew that up the way I wanted? Yeah, I did. I talked about overflow and overwhelm and climate change and choices. Yeah, I'm done. Thank you and good night.